Alright, so I just made a video about cold calling that did pretty well, and some of you guys, I think, wanted to hear a live cold call breakdown. So today I'm going to be actually reacting to one of my cold calls that I made that landed a meeting. I'm going to talk about some things I think I could have improved on, as well as the strategy behind it, why I did what I did, and how you can apply this to your cold calls. I have a few other cold calls. Actually, I've got probably 20 examples in the last few weeks of meetings that I booked from cold calling that I can share with you. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know if you want to see more of this and I can help you out. Also, I have a lead generation training document that's for free down below that you can grab that will teach you exactly how to generate leads for cold email and book yourself a lot of meetings, and it's awesome. You can have that for free. And lastly, if you want some help from me personally, some consulting, you can book a time with me. There's a calendar link in the description. That being said, let's get started. What am I selling? I am selling occupational medicine. So I'm calling on behalf of a clinic, an occupational health clinic in Indiana, and I am calling these companies to try and get them to send their drivers, their employees, to our clinic for drug screenings and physicals as opposed to their current clinic. So I'm calling people up, calling the HR department, calling the safety department. I have no idea who I'm trying to reach. I'm just trying to find the decision maker and get them to book a meeting with our program director, who can then convince them to switch their employees from their current clinic to a new one, because we have faster wait times. 0 wait times is the main value proposition. So as you can tell, this is a very weird thing to do, a very weird thing to sell, but I'm making it work. So in this call, I actually call the lady, I call the number, and the person who answers the phone happens to be the decision maker. And this deal actually is about to move forward and close. The salesperson at the company that I'm representing is going to be able to close this. So it's looking that way at least. So anyway, let me shut up and get to the call.
This is Destiny.
Hey Destiny, this is Jacob from Occupational Health calling about your employee physicals and drug screenings. Could you please help me out and let me know who would be the best person to speak with about that? So in this case, I tried to use a calm, slow voice because I noticed that her voice was it sounded like she was more laid back and chill, so I wanted to have the chill vibe. The other thing that I did is, off the bat, the very first thing I said was, "Hi Destiny," and I wrote her name down, and I said, "I'm Jacob, and I'm with Occupational Health." So I told her who I am, who I'm with, and then the very next thing I said is the reason why I'm calling. You always want to tell the person why you're calling them because they have no idea why you're calling and they want to figure it out. So I said, "Hi, my name is Jacob. I'm with Occupational Health, calling about your employee drug screens and physicals." And then I immediately asked a question to get her talking. "Could you please help me out and let me know who's the best person to speak with about this?" So I'm asking her to help me. I like this line because people like to help people. So I find that this helps me to get them to help me, right? So could you please help me out and let me know who's the best person to speak with about this? And I'm asking an open-ended question. I'm asking who's the best person to speak with. And almost always they'll tell me who it is. So here's what happened.
It would be myself. I'm the office manager here.
Okay, great. So I know you weren't expecting my call. Do you have a minute? So here, once I've identified the decision maker, I'm talking to them, I tell them why I'm calling. So in this case, it was her. So I already gave the reason why I'm calling. So the very next thing I asked was, "Okay, great. You weren't expecting my call. Do you have a minute?" I do this because I like to be respectful of people's time. Some people say, "Hey, how are you? How's it going?" I don't like to do that because I don't think people really care, how I don't really care how they're doing that much, and they know that I don't care. Like, I do care how they're doing. I hope they're having a good day. But everyone asks, how are you doing? It's the same thing. So I don't really do that. I do think asking if they have a minute is a good thing to ask, to be respectful of their time. Because sometimes they say, "Actually, no, I don't. I'm really busy." And then I say, "No worries. When can I call you back?" And then they tell me when I can call them back, right? So I usually open with that. Now, if she was not the decision maker and she transferred me to somebody who was the decision maker, I would have said, once I reached them, I would have said, "Hey, this is Jacob with Occupational Health. I called about your employee drug screens and physicals, and Destiny sent me to you. Do you have a minute?" Right? So I'm once again introducing myself, telling them why I'm calling. I'm now using the social proof of someone who referred me to them, so it builds some trust. And then I ask if they have a minute, right? Once they say yes, that's when I go into my value proposition and my 10-second elevator pitch and then a question. So here's how it goes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sweet. So we're a local occupational health clinic in the area that can offer physicals and drug screenings with 0 wait times, so your drivers can get back to work very quickly, as well as a flat rate cost model. So it's probably cheaper and quicker than what you're already doing because we're not a general clinic that sees everyone. We just see people like your employees. I wanted to call and ask how you're currently handling it and if maybe you'd be interested in learning a bit more about how we could help you. Now, you heard her say, that was a sign of interest right there, which was great. Now, I actually think that elevator pitch that I delivered was not the best for a few reasons. One, I went a little off script. Normally, I just say, the reason I'm calling is it offers drug screens and physicals with 0 wait times, so your employees can get in and out and back to work very quickly without having to wait around. And I'm curious to know how you're currently handling your drug screens and physicals. That's all I say now. And it works very well because it gets them talking about what they're doing. And almost always their employees have long wait times. So that's a big thing that resonates with them. In this case, I went off a little bit longer with the cost model. I've dropped that one. And I don't think that it's good to go on for that long. I think I should have tightened that up. In this case, it was short enough and it happened to resonate, so I got lucky. I would say, though, in the future, I should tighten up my delivery and make the elevator pitch a lot shorter. But that's what I did. I said, great, I'm calling you because we offer this. We offer drug screens and physicals with 0 wait times so your employees can get in and out and save time. That's the benefit. Save time, save time, save time. You have to get the person on the phone and within 10 seconds, tell them what the value is. When you're cold calling and giving an elevator pitch, you need to be so specific with the value that you're offering. You could shake them awake at 2 in the morning and scream it at them and they would understand, right? So that's what I did. Do you want, or I tried to at least, do you want, drug screens and physicals with 0 wait times? And then I asked her how you're currently handling them. The CTA, actually, I think I also screwed up. Normally I just say I'm calling to ask how you're currently handling them. I just said I'm calling to ask if how you're currently handling them and if you're interested in learning more. That second part, I would recommend waiting until you've built up more interest by getting them talking. I think I jumped the gun there. Again, luckily this person was pretty open to it, so she still was interested. I'll show you an example of another call where it was a bit harder to book the meeting. But normally I would just say, in this case, I went on a bit longer and I had a slightly weaker CTA. Now what I've been doing, now that I've been practicing is, once again, hey, we do drug screens and physicals with 0 wait times so your employees can get in and out and back to work very quickly without having to wait around. I'm calling to ask how you're currently handling your drug screens and physicals. Now they talk. So here's her response.
Well, currently we use LabCorp. What is the name of your company?
Occupational health. It's run by Dr.
Okay. Yeah, currently we use LabCorp. We send our drivers for their drug screenings that way, generally. Of course, we do try to have them do it while they're at work. So, of course, being a quick and easy process is always good for us. I wouldn't have a problem with you sending me over some information to my email. So
that's where I latched on. That is great. She shared information about who they're currently using. She even said that what we're offering is valuable to her, that having shorter wait times is always, of interest. And she opened the floor to me to send her more information. She's expressing interest. So the first thing I do here is latch on to that and agree. Because my goal is to book a meeting. But I don't want to say no. I don't want to say, no, I don't want to send you information. I want to book a meeting with you. That's not going to work. You always want to be going with the flow. So in this case, I just said, yeah, sure. I'd be happy to send you information. What's your email? So I used that request to then get her email. So that way in the future, even if this goes south and I don't book the meeting, I can still send her information. I can still follow up with her via email, right? And I have the email. And then once I get that, now I'm using that momentum to continue forward and eventually book the meeting. So here's how I do that. Okay, wonderful. What's your email?
it is D for Destiny. E.
I have a crazy last name, so it's hard to
Or at Gmail.
Got it. So I blocked out the, I actually decided to cut out her email for privacy reasons, but she just, during that clip, she was spelling out the email, and she was saying like D as in Delta, S, N as in Nancy, all this stuff, and I decided to bring some humor into it. It was a little risky, but I felt like she was very nice at this point, and I could tell that she was friendly. So I decided to bring some of my personality into it to crack a joke to try and loosen her up before I asked for the meeting. So here's how I did that. Sweet. You know, when I have a crazy last name, so it's hard to spell as well. It's Tuwiner, and every time someone asks me how to spell it, I'm always wondering is there like a code that you use for certain letters, or do you just make it up on the spot?
I just usually make it up on the spot.
Yeah, me too. And sometimes I feel like I say really weird things. So anyway, yeah. Look, so there, I got her to genuinely laugh twice. So now she's feeling good. She likes me, and people remember how you make them feel, not what you say. So because I made her laugh, she's much more open to what I'm about to ask her. If speed is important to you, I can pretty much guarantee that we'll be faster than what you're currently using. And if you have 10, 15 minutes later this week, maybe Thursday or Friday, to meet with our program director, I'm sure she would be happy to tell you more about it. Do you think if I send her some info beforehand and then set you up with a time maybe Thursday afternoon, that would work for you?
Yeah.
Awesome. How about when I asked her that, when there was a silence, I was like, please, please, please. Anyway, I used the momentum of I'm going to send you an email, I'm going to have you review it. Then after you review it, would you be open to meeting with her for blah 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 blah? She said yes. Now, I think one thing I could have improved here is I said she could talk to you more about that. That's not really that compelling. What I should have said was, and this is what I try to say now, would you be open after reviewing that information to speak with Caitlin, our program director, about how we can help save you some time and money? That's what is going to make them do it. Save time, save money, okay? But this was good enough. She agreed to it. So now I just finish off the call by collecting the rest of the information I need for the meeting, and that's it. About would 2 or 4 p.m. your time work for you?
2 o'clock will probably.
Here I'm giving her options, 2 or 4, right? I'm not saying what time works for you. I'm just suggesting 2 or 4. Pick one. Tuesday or Thursday? Great. Morning, afternoon? Great. 2 or 4 p.m. Zoom or phone call? You want to give them the illusion of choice so they feel like they're in control when really the end result's the same.
Probably be best.
All right, wonderful. Can I send a calendar invitation to the same email you gave me?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Thank you, Destiny. And then would you prefer a phone call, or do you like Zoom, or just maybe want to go in person, or what works best for you?
I can always do a phone call.
All right, sure. So I'll give this number?
No, give a separate number. It'll be my office cell. That's
Okay.
219.
So at this point, I'm just collecting information and I'm finishing off the call. But this is how you run a cold call. You get the decision maker, you give a value prop in 10 seconds, you ask them a question to get them talking, and if they're going in the right direction, you continue with that momentum to eventually book for the call. The main things you need to know are keep it short, deliver value, and always make the ask. Always, always, always make the ask. Even if it doesn't seem like they're interested, you still need to push for whatever you're looking for, whether it's a sale, a meeting. You always need to make the ask, because you're never going to get what you want if you don't make the ask. In this case, I didn't face a single objection. This was a really easy call. I can show you more examples where I have more objections to overcome. But even if you have an objection, you need to ask. And if they say no, you need to ask again. You should be getting hung up on before you instead of taking no for an answer, I would rather be hung up on. Now, sometimes you need to sometimes it is, I think, smart to not get hung up on. And if it's a certain situation, I can make a video about it. You might not want to keep pushing because there might be an opportunity for you to call back and whatever. But for the most part, you got to keep asking several times before you get the order or get the meeting or whatever. I hope you enjoyed this video, though. This is a live cold call breakdown selling a crazy service. If I can sell occupational health services over the phone to people I don't know, so can you. You can sell whatever you want. So get out there, make those calls, and crush it.